Have you ever searched for an ancestor and found absolutely nothing? No records, no matches. Well, here's the truth. They're probably not missing. You just need to search differently. Let's talk about what's really going on, because this is one of the biggest frustrations in genealogy. Most people assume that if they can't find an ancestor, it means that person isn't in the records. But that's almost never true. Today, we have access to millions of records through websites like Ancestry, Family Search, and MyHeritage. The records are out there. The problem is usually how we're searching and what we expect to find. The number one reason people get stuck is names. Your ancestor's name is probably not what you think it is. Spelling wasn't standardized, and people wrote things down the way they sounded. That means the last name could appear 5 different ways in 5 different records. If your ancestor was an immigrant, it gets even more complicated. Names were often changed, shortened, or completely Americanized over time. If you're only searching one exact spelling, you could be missing a lot. The fix here is simple. Start thinking in variations. Say the name out loud and try different spellings. This one shift alone can open up records you didn't know existed. Here's my own example. My grandfather's name is Louis Hunn. For the longest time, that's what I would enter into a search box. U.S. records came up in the search, but no German records were ever found. That's because he Americanized his name. When I went back and searched for the name Ludwig, I found all sorts of German records. So start thinking about variations for names. Another big issue is indexing errors. Most of the records we search today are indexed, which means someone, or sometimes AI, has read the original document and typed the information into a searchable database. But mistakes happen all the time. Handwriting can be hard to read, especially in older records. A letter can be misinterpreted, or an entire name can be entered incorrectly. Let's look at my mother's entry in the 1950 census. When I hover the cursor over her name, you can see that it says Edith P. My mother's name is Esther. What's weird is that you can read the word Esther. It's clearly written, so I'm not sure why it is indexed as Edith. So your ancestor might be in the record, but hidden behind a bad transcription. That's why it's so important not to rely on only search results. Sometimes you have to browse the records manually. This is especially helpful with census records or church books. It takes a little more time, but it can make all the difference. Dates are another common problem. We love exact dates in genealogy, but our ancestors didn't always know them. Ages in records are often estimates. You might see the same record listed with different birth years across multiple documents. Census records are especially known for this. If you're searching with one exact year, you could really miss the record. Instead, try searching with a range. If you think someone was born in 1880, search from 1875 to 1885. That small adjustment can dramatically improve your results. Location is another trap that catches a lot of people. We tend to assume our ancestors stayed in one place, but that's rarely true. People moved for work, for land, or to be near family. On top of that, geographic boundaries changed over time. A place that was once in one country might later be listed in another. In some cases, even countries have changed borders. So if you're searching in one specific location and not finding anything, don't stop there. Look at nearby towns, counties, or even neighboring states. Understanding migration patterns can also give you valuable clues about where to look next. Language and cultural differences can also play a big role, especially if your ancestors came from Europe. Names were often translated into English or adapted to fit a new culture. For example, Johann might become John, Wilhelm might become William, and Giovanni might become John. In some cultures, naming traditions are completely different from what we use today. If you're not aware of those patterns, it can make your research much harder. Taking a little time to learn how names worked in your ancestors' country can give you a huge advantage. Now let's talk about search tools, because this is where a lot of people unknowingly limit themselves. Search engines on genealogy websites are powerful, but they only work based on information you give them. If your details are slightly off, maybe the name is spelled differently, or the date is a little wrong, you might get 0 results, even if the record exists. One of the best things you can do is loosen your search. Remove filters. Try searching with just a first name or just a last name. Sometimes, in this instance, less is more. Of course, there are times when records truly don't exist. Fires, wars, and natural disasters have destroyed many historical records. One well-known example is the 1890 U.S. Census fire, which wiped out most of that census. If your ancestor lived during that time, you may never find them in that specific record. But that doesn't mean you're out of luck. There are almost always substitute records you can use, like city directories, tax records, church records, or newspapers. Sometimes these can tell you even more than the original record would have. Finally, there's one more reason that's a little harder to talk about. Sometimes we're searching for the wrong person. It's very easy to make a small mistake early in your research, maybe attaching the wrong parent or following the wrong family line. And once that happens, you can spend hours searching for someone who isn't actually your ancestor. This is why it is so important to double-check your work. Go back and verify each generation. Make sure the connections are solid before moving forward. In genealogy, one small error can send you in the wrong direction for years. So if you've been struggling to find an ancestor, take a step back and look at how you've been searching. In most cases, the person isn't missing. They're just hiding behind a spelling variation, an indexing error, a wrong date, or a different location. Once you start adjusting for those things, you'll be surprised at how quickly new records start to appear. And here's the best part. These are all things you can fix. You don't need special access or expensive tools. You just need to change your approach. If this video helped you today, I've created a free genealogy resource to make finding your missing ancestor easier. You'll find the download link in the description below. If you want help with that next step, watch this video right here where I show you how to organize your research so you stop missing key clues. And if you enjoy practical family history tips, be sure to subscribe. I'd love to have you back. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your research, and I'll see you in the next one.